Hey guys, hope you're all doing well today. So just having a look at Apple today. So Apple's been a bit in the news. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's been going a little bit short. So from a monthly perspective, it's been running pretty bull for a while. Uh, we haven't had a bull run like this for quite some time that it went up this high. Maybe in August of 2018, it went up pretty volatile. And then it came down for 4 months. Maybe some at the bottom too, so about 4 months there. And before that, it went short for a while longer. It went short for about 2 years. That's a month right there. Another month, sorry, a year right there. So a year and a half. So those are the last bear cycles on Apple. So we did have a lot of volatility to the upside. As you can see, it did push through that overbought zone. It came down, now it pushed up again, came down, pushed up again, and you can see that that's actually divergent to negative infinity because there's a lower peak and a higher peak. It's hard to see, but there is. See 138 and 146, 147. So lower peak to higher peak. I can just show you what divergence looks like. So it looks like that for the price, and then there'll be some momentum like that going down, and that just shows you negative infinity divergence. So that means that the price is diverging back to zero, back to negative infinity. If you've studied math, university math or calculus, but pretty much so Apple is bearish right now. So Apple is bear. So if you're thinking about buying Apple right now, it's definitely not a good idea. As you can see, it started here, so the short kind of started in January. So where can this go? So where's support 1? So that technically would be a support right there at 133. But the real support technically is down there because all these candles are kind of in that area. So support 1's basically right there. And you can see that these are just crossing over. These are just starting to cross over. This is just starting to inflect. So if that's crossing over, you can see this is a monthly chart. So each bar is a month. So you can see how many months this could go short if it's starting. And overall, let's just swing over to tech for a sec. What's tech? XLK? Yeah, XLK. So you can see that the whole tech sector is pretty much going short because this looks like Apple. Pretty much you can see it's pushed up a lot to the upside, and you can see that it's coming back down. There could be some big move to the downside, especially because you can see where that EMA 9 is. It's about the 117 level, and the center line that's about 104. So we'll just go back to Apple. And you can see that pretty much here the center line's down at 90. So where could Apple be going? Apple could definitely be going back to maybe the $100 range, between 100 and 113 area. And if we're really going down, personally I think we're going to really go down because support 1's way down there, and definitely we should be touching the center line again at some point. So 95 looks pretty good. So I'm thinking anywhere between 90 and 75, and if we're really going short, worst case scenario is we go back to 50. So we could be going back to 50, and we'll just have a look at a weekly perspective. So from a weekly perspective, this still has room to come down because as you can see, look, oversold. That's almost oversold. It went down to 35. Right now it's at 50, so there's some room for it to come back down. And it could just come back down to here, right? 102, pop back up here and continue down, right? So we could say that this still has room to come down on the weekly. I just started making these videos, so I probably should have started this channel a little bit earlier, but from a day trading perspective, there is some room to the upside, so we could see Apple making, because we see, look, from a daily perspective, from a day trading perspective, you can see that the RSI is now oversold. The MACD's default, you can see that's getting low. That's starting to swing low. It wasn't extremely volatile to the downside, but it was getting there. It's decent. Pretty much over the last, how many months is that? 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Within the last 6 months, it's only come down that far volatile wise, or way back over about a year, right? This is the first time, so we might see some action going back up. Let's just check the 4 hour, just a day trading perspective. So yeah, we could see this come back up a little bit. We could see Apple getting bought up here just for a day trade, because people are buying there. You definitely made some money if you bought at around 117, 118, sold back up, trying to hold, or maybe sold around there. So it got pushed down to these channels here. That's a deep kind of sell-off, right, from a day trading perspective. So if you're buying that, you want to sell back up when it touched that EMA 9. You would have profited a bit there. But definitely this is still oversold on the 4 hour RSI. You can see that it has room to come back up before the algorithms reset again. So there definitely is room for that to come up. We'll just check the 1 hour, see. Yeah, that's starting to diverge back to positive infinity, so you can see that. How can I show this? So we basically squeezed here, we squeezed there, and then we squeeze. Is that going up? Yeah, that is going up. So then we squeeze there. So when it kind of pushes together like that, that squeezes together, it forms positive infinity divergence. So there's the trade right there. You can see the one we were just talking about on the 4 hour, that it went up. That's from a 1 hour perspective. That's a pretty deep sell-off. You can see that was extremely volatile on the 1 hour. From a 1 hour perspective, it went deep. It got bought up. It touched that line. It got sold off. Now it looks like it's kind of flattening out. It wants to touch back. Wants to get oversold on the 1 hours again. But there is some bearish momentum here. You can see that might not happen. So we'll check the 15. What's really happening short-wise in the shorter time frames. So we can see that is basically our positive infinity divergence that we were just saying on the smaller time frames. It's shooting up, so we could see this come back up. And I think after all that passes, have a look on the bigger time frames, like 1 month. These are just crossing over, hasn't even crossed over, just inflected to negative infinity. So we definitely have some room for this to come down. So I'm thinking if you're trying to get a better price on Apple, definitely wait. Tech could go short for a while. Who really knows? Because it's been, as you can see, like as we discussed, in its bearish cycle, it gets volatile. It touches these upper bounds here, and then it crosses back over that 9 EMA, over that center line. Then it crosses back up on its bull cycle, then it crosses back down on its bear cycle. Now we've crossed back up on its then it crossed up on its bull cycle, it crossed down on its bear cycle, up, down, now we went up on its bull cycle. This is pretty extended. This is pretty extended, so definitely, what do you think is going to happen now? So definitely there is some room for that to come down, right? It's going to cross up, it's going to cross down, it's going to cross up, going to cross down. Now it's crossed up, now it's touching there. So we could probably get down there, and if it really wants to go deep, we could get down there. And if it's really going bad, probably not. But if it is, we'll do another video later, an update video. But definitely right there, I'll just draw the line out for. So here was our first stop. I just started this channel this week, so I didn't know these, well, obviously not that many people are watching, but a couple hundred people have stopped by to watch, so I guess I'll start making these videos more often. If I would have known, I would have started this a while ago, but probably would have told you about in January or so. But it's alright. So basically, it's come down. It's almost touched that EMA 9. You can see that's at 114. Oh, after hours. Okay, so after hours is in blue. So what do you know? It's come down to 115 because it closed today at, where did we close at? C open, high, low, close. We closed at 121, $121 and 26. So $121 and 21 $121 and 26 cents. We closed today at the bell at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock Eastern time. So after hours, it did come down to 115. Maybe it went lower than that, so you can see the momentum for the new month, right? We're starting a new month now, so the new monthly candle is going to show, and you can bet that that candle, the next candle is going to be going red. That candle probably will go red, or it's going to go pink and go a little bit low. Yeah, it's going to probably go pink and it's going to be lower. It's going to be showing that there's going to be bearish momentum. That's going to show that there's bearish momentum. So have a look on Monday when the market opens up, and you'll see, have a look at the monthly chart, and it'll show that if it's going up first, it might be green, but eventually it'll probably turn red. But there, you can see on these shorter time frames that there, as we discussed, there could be some movement up, going back up first. So that's why these lines could come back up here. They could get overbought. Then it can continue back down. So like this orange line here and that blue line there, it could come back up. If this orange line wants to come back up first, that's what I was talking about, that it might push a little bit higher on the shorter time frames. So just have a look, keep your eye out. And Apple's a definite it's a good stock to keep your eye on. So if you're looking to buy, definitely wait. You might get a day trade in. It's kind of risky because it's pretty deep on those higher time frames. So maybe just wait for it to come down. And if we were thinking about buying Apple later, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss buying into tech. But again, we'll just have a look at the tech ETF. So if you don't know what an ETF is, an ETF is an exchange traded fund. So it's a basket of all the tech companies. And this XLK one specifically, you can just Google it. It'll tell you what companies are in here. It probably composes of Apple and some other tech companies. I think Google is definitely going short too. We'll have a look at that in another video. Or we could just quickly have a look now. But as you can see, the same thing here. There is room for that to come down. That hasn't even crossed over yet, as you can see. So there is room. EMA 9's down here. We could definitely see that to come down to 118 for sure. And if we really want to go deeper, we could see 105. And if we really want to go deeper, you know, this could come down a lot, right? This could come down almost half in valuation. Well, not half, but you know, 60-70% or more. It definitely could come down. Let's just see how deep other times it's came down. Where is our COVID sell-off? Right there. So yeah, looks like COVID sell-off is probably our worst case scenario. So anywhere from here to here, I guess I'll just draw the lines out just in case. Anywhere from here to like here would be like our worst case scenario, because that's a COVID scenario, so I don't think it would go any deeper than that. So basically stop number 1, we're looking at 103 to 105 area, and stop number 2, we're definitely looking at 85. So I think 103 to 105 area is probably for sure where it's going to go. Eventually it'll come down there. If it doesn't happen right away, it'll definitely come down eventually. As you can see, these are still overbought. So there is some room. I guess in this one specifically, it doesn't get oversold too often. But we'll just have a look at Apple to make sure. So yeah, there is a lot of room for it to come down. You can see it, as we said before, I think it came down to about 35 at some point earlier. But we definitely could see this coming down back to, look where it is now. It's at 67 almost, so it could definitely come back down to like 45 area. So there is a way for this to go. We'll just have a look on the weekly. So oh yeah, this is what we're talking about. So there, look, from a weekly perspective, there is room for this to come down still. And who knows, the past history isn't for sure, right? But we do know that this was volatile, and we do know that this is still overbought, and this could definitely come down. Look, these are just crossing over, and look how far these are away, right? These are very far away. Well, it was far away, but this week, it definitely came down a lot, right? It definitely came down from like 140 area, so we definitely could see it come down, as we said, 115, and probably we'll see it come down to about 80 bucks. And if it's really going short, then we could definitely see it come down to 57. Personally, I probably think this level here, right there, is probably the worst case. We're gonna go 90 bucks to about 77 if this short's really starting. So just keep your eye out, and yeah, just have a look. Just check this tech ETF one more time. So there is some room for it to come down. That was the COVID sell-off. Let's just see other times. Yeah, not just the COVID sell-off, but you can see that in other bearish cycles it has come down. So there's room for this to come down. So just keep your eye out. I definitely would wait if you're trying to get a better price on Apple. Definitely wait. Check out these levels. Look for these levels, and then go from there. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care.